It's been a busy week, but the safest conclusion we can draw seems to be that the anti-white narrative has officially gone mainstream. The Black Lives Matter campaign has been so successful, the unoppressed are now demanding reparations from the unoppressing, and two-tier policing is firmly in place. In the space of a month, Britain has become the most racist country in the history of the universe. So much so that migrant boats are now only arriving daily at Dover, and racism is the only topic acceptable for social discourse. The motives of those engaged in such rhetoric range from bad to egregious. White actors desperately running around apologising for stuff they did before, promising never to work again as long as they're not called the R word. White liberals more than happy to throw their fellow white liberals under the bus as a stay of execution, and those who just want to promote openly anti-white hatred. The exponential rise of this hatred has been met with ill-advised indulgence from the right. Fuck all white people was strangely not considered hate speech. Kill all white men is exactly the kind of thing you want from your students' union. The South African genocide was largely ignored, and when Australia offered asylum to those affected, they were criticised for hypocrisy. In Britain, for decades, young white girls have been sold out for votes, and all this is somehow progressive. And yet on the other side, when posters show up saying it's okay to be white, this is considered Nazi hate speech. Our societies are regressing to the stage that the value of life is judged now solely on the distance from the white male patriarchy. Dare consider that George Floyd might not have been a Latter-day Saint, and you'll be thrown to the wolves with immediate effect. Whatever you do if you're white, the game has been rigged so that you can't win. Not being racist is no longer enough, because obviously you don't have to be racist to be racist. While the term white has taken an almost entirely pejorative meaning, white fragility, white privilege, white saviour, white extinction anxiety. The pattern is now clear. Defend whites and you'll be silenced. Attack whites and you'll be lauded. Sarah Champion found that out when she tried defending the rape victims of largely Pakistani men across the length and breadth of Britain, instantly sacked by Jeremy Corbyn. Naz Shah told them, all the victims, just to shut up, and she was promoted by Corbyn and then Keir Starmer in return. The UK terror watch list has swollen to 43,000, 90% of whom are jihadis. You think that's a problem? You're probably racist. If you think it's the far right that's a problem, however, you just might land that Guardian column. The culmination of all this has been the stark contrast this week between the treatment to Jake Heppell and to Dr. Gopal of Cambridge University. Heppell decided to fly a White Lives Matter banner over Burnley Football Club and was instantly sacked, had his GoFundMe page shut down, and his girlfriend was even sacked after she refused very heavy reprogramming. Dr. Gopal, on the other hand, who tweeted, "White lives don't matter and abolish whiteness," she was not only defended by Cambridge University but actually promoted. That's right, that's Cambridge University that defends no one, even heavyweights like Jordan Peterson. It's fortunate for all of us that the Reading attack victims were white gays. If it had been 3 black men killed by a Christian, none of us would have any kneecaps left. Race baiting against whites is no longer a contentious issue, it's a career choice, and a lucrative one at that. Millionaire journalists like Afua Hirsch or Yasmin Alabai Brown spend their lives complaining about how they're oppressed and attacking Britain, the country that took them in. Politicians like David Lammy and Diane Abbott have made careers out of doing much the same. Now, Dr. Gopal is one of those competing for such treasures. If you think there's a limit to how far this is going to go, you haven't been paying attention. This week, Justin Welby, the Archbishop of Wokery, actually came out and said that we should stop portraying Jesus as white. In other words, he's prepared to rewrite the entire history of Christianity and possibly topple Christ if he refuses to take a knee to Black Lives Matter. Conservatives have been largely pathetic when it comes to these protests, and now we're paying the price for our overindulgence. We need once again to reassert the enforcement of law, equality before the law, and the presumption of innocence before guilt is proved, just like it was in the good old racist days.